The Liberal minister just said that they stand with auto workers, but it sure looks like they stand with Donald Trump. Let me explain.
The Liberals are rattled. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today, we've got a House Commons session here where Pierre Poilievre calling out the Liberals for a policy that is bad for Canada. It's good for America. We also have Kyle Seebeck calls this out in the House of Commons as well, saying they're helping Donald Trump, and outrage bursts out from the Liberal bench. We also have a couple of Liberals, one of them who doesn't even know what bill she's working on. Another one throws a tantrum on CTV. Let's jump into this. Jumping over to the House of Commons, we've got Pierre Poilievre tying Mark Carney to Donald Trump because of his new EV credit system he just announced.
Under this Liberal government and under that particular minister, auto production has fallen by half. Wow. The Prime Minister was elected promising that he would protect the auto industry and get a deal with the U.S. by July 21st. He broke both of those promises, and since there have been job losses at Cami Ingersoll, GM Oshawa, Stellantis Brampton, and Pacao au Quebec. Mr. Speaker, today he finally flip-flopped on his cherished EV mandate, but is bringing in a new subsidy for people to buy American-made automobiles. Why is he forcing Canadian workers to pay taxes to subsidize American vehicles?
So subsidies go out to buy those vehicles, but those vehicles made in America, not very many made in Canada. Boosting the American economy, though, is good for Mark Carney's stocks, though. Not good for Canada. This is what they need to do. They need to keep tying Mark Carney to Donald Trump.
I know it's Thursday, but I have good news for the leader of the opposition. I have very good news for him, and I have good news for Canadian. It's called the Canada Auto Strategy, Mr. Speaker. In fact, the Prime Minister of Canada today was standing up for Canadian workers, for Canadian industry, for the future of the industry in this country. They can yell as much as they want on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, but the workers know what we have done for them. They know what we're doing today and what we're going to do in the future. Mr. Speaker, we'll build Canada strong.
You're not building nothing. The workers are pissed off. I can tell you that for sure.
Leader of the opposition.
That minister was in charge of industrial policy. He's the Minister of Industry, while automobile production fell in Canada by half. And now under this Prime Minister, we've lost 5,000 more auto jobs. Here's the deal that he's announced today. The American president will continue to tariff Canadian-made automobiles going into the U.S., while Canadian taxpayers will be forced to subsidize American vehicles coming back into Canada. Instead of subsidizing American vehicles and killing Canadian jobs, why not take our plan to take the GST off Canadian-made automobiles?
Mr. Speaker, I will tell him that under my watch, for the first time in Canadian history, we brought a European manufacturer to invest in our country, Mr. Speaker. It's called Volkswagen. It's called St. Thomas. It's called the car of the future, Mr. Speaker. Volkswagen has invested a record amount in Canada, Mr. Speaker.
They did this before. I showed it in the previous video. Dozens of companies they've dumped our money into, billions of dollars, and it has amounted to nothing. People are living in the streets now. There should be protections in place for politicians doing this stuff, and they should be prosecuted and put in prison for their crimes against Canadians.
They can yell as much as they want, but the people in St. Thomas know who did it. They know what we're doing today, and they know we're going to support our worker, our industry, and the auto sector in this country, Mr. Speaker. Let them continue to criticize.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he's literally yelling for us to stop yelling. This is an example of the Liberal illusion. The Prime Minister has put in charge of finance the industry minister who is responsible for auto production in Canada falling by half. Wow. And the present collapse of auto production and jobs in our country. Now, the Prime Minister broke his promise to negotiate a deal with the U.S., and now he wants to subsidize U.S.-made vehicles. Why not take taxes off Canadian-made vehicles so that we can bring home jobs to our country?
They just need to keep on this, just nail them on this, continue to pin Mark Carney to Donald Trump, and then we'll see the voters starting to flip. I've mentioned this for over a year now, but I mean, they need to go back to this. Is 91% invested in America. This is Mark Carney stocks, 514. Use this article here from the Investigative Journal Foundation. 514 stocks in America, 11 in Ireland, 6 in the UK, 4 in the Netherlands, 3 in Canada. Just pin Mark Carney to America. He does not care about our country. Ties all EV mandate here, which doesn't help starving Canadians, struggling Canadians, Canadians living in the streets, barely able to get by. Tie him to Trump, and his boogeyman will become his worst nightmare. We have to use the fear of Donald Trump against the Liberals any way possible.
Considering bringing back the EV mandate, the rebates, or potentially rebates, or some sort of incentive for buying EVs. What do you think of that idea of bringing that back?
I had thought it was a good idea the first time. In fact, I recommended it to the government in 2019 when I was part of an advisory committee to the federal government. We know that there's still a price difference between conventional internal combustion engine vehicles and electric vehicles, so this will help more adoption of electric vehicles.
Why would we do that? Why not just let people decide? They're pushing their green grift. They're invested on the back end of it.
Speaker, I don't need to speak loud because Canadians know what we did. If he wants to look at what we did under my watch, Mr. Speaker, let him talk about Windsor, Mr. Speaker, and about Nexstar. What we did, Mr. Speaker, is to see where the puck is going. That is truly Canadian. Making sure that we build the auto sector of today, but the auto sector of tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
This guy is so clueless. So many of these projects that he is directly responsible for have gone bankrupt, bust, or moved to America. Cancelled ID7 sedan, halted Northvolt Sweden, and then it went bankrupt. Cancelled the Dodge Charger EV. Honda EV is on hold for 2 years. Line Electric went bankrupt. Ford EV scrapped their $1.8 billion plant, focused on gas pickups. GM Ingersoll laying off 1,200 workers. The reason why he named Nexstar is because one of the few that haven't gone bankrupt. And the reason for that is they don't make an individual vehicle. They make batteries, which they can sell to numerous companies. Same thing with PowerCo Canada. Francois Philippe Champagne is an utter failure.
We understood, and not even just Canadian, Bloomberg said that Canada would have the most complete supply chain when it comes to EV, Mr. Speaker. We are proud of our record. We are proud to invest in Canadian workers, and we'll build the industry of the future together.
The Honourable
Next up, we've got Conservative Garnet Jenice here, bringing up something pretty ridiculous.
So I just came from the Human Resources Committee where Liberal Minister for Jobs and Families, Patty Hajdu, was supposed to be testifying on Bill C-15. She was called there to testify on Bill C-15, the Budget Implementation Act. Take a look at what she said in the committee.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I'm going to just have to, you're going to have to tell me what C-15 is. I don't have my list here of bills.
Budget implementation.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And I don't, there are many, many bills, so I don't have the number at hand. But
this is embarrassing. Listen to this temper tantrum by Melanie Joly on CTV.
If I could ask you about Jamil Javani, the Conservative MP who headed to the United States. He said that he was going to meet, and I don't have confirmation, this is just through his social media channels, that he was going to meet with GM. And I just wondered if he had asked for a briefing or if you had offered one.
No, I think it's because I actually called him on it, saying that as MP in charge of Oshawa constituents that are working at GM, that are losing their job, why is he just embracing the Trump administration that is putting tariffs on them and having them, lose their job? And why is he basically not denouncing the U.S. auto tariffs? And
this doesn't make any sense what she's saying there. He goes there to help get a deal for Canada, and she's blaming him for Canadian jobs being lost because of her incompetence. Make it make sense.
Just a question that across Oshawa people are asking.
He says he can be of help to the government by going there. Do you think that's possible?
I'm not in his heart nor in his mind. I'm just looking at what he says and what are the facts. And until I actually said on television that he was not talking and denouncing the GM layoffs, he didn't talk about it. And now he's talking about it. So I think, basically it talks for itself.
What talks for itself is a sack of bricks would be a better trade minister than Melanie Joly. It's scary how stupid Joly is. She's trying to spin, but anyone with a couple brain cells should be able to see right through it. Butts must be upset with her performance. Jamil going to the U.S. is the most amount of progress we've made with the U.S. in quite some time. Let's all wish him good luck and hope he succeeds. Exactly. They don't like this move because they can't control it, and it gets rid of the boogeyman from their election platform. Jumping over the House of Commons, the Conservatives are jumping all over Mark Carney's EV announcement here because it essentially benefits American-made cars coming into Canada. And this is the exact right play they need to do. Tie Mark Carney and the Liberals to Donald Trump. I've been saying this since before the election for over a year.
Our government stands with them and protects them.
So today, the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Industry announced Canada's new auto strategy, taking action on what we can control. We're investing $3 billion from the Strategic Response Fund to support the industry, $570 million to support reskilling and upskilling workers. Mr. Speaker, this is how you build Canada strong. We stand together when times are tough, and
This Liberal minister says that they stand with auto workers. What it looks like is they stand with Donald Trump, because while Donald Trump imposes 10% tariffs on every single vehicle that comes into Canada.
Get him. That's how to do it.
The member may.
It's outrage in here. Listen to this. It's just nonstop.
Supplementary in there, but the honourable
You hear that? Elbows up.
for Dufferin, the honourable member for Dufferin-Caledon.
The Liberal minister just said that they stand with auto workers, but it sure looks like they stand with Donald Trump. Let me explain. While Donald Trump imposes 10% tariffs on every single vehicle that comes into Canada, these Liberals have passed an EV mandate that is actually going to give Canadian taxpayer dollars in the form of subsidies to American-made EVs. You actually can't make this up. Less than 5% of Canadian vehicles will qualify for this EV subsidy. Why are they contributing to Donald Trump's Buy American instead of preserving jobs in Canada?
Yeah, so this basically benefits Elon Musk and Teslas amidst other EV manufacturers that send their cars up here. Just doing a quick search on this, we've got Ford makes a F-150 Lightning, the Mustang Mach-E. I believe the 150 Lightning is being discontinued. The same thing with the electric Jeep. I think that's being discontinued too. We've got the Chevrolet Bolt, Equinox, Blazer, Cadillac, as well as Rivian, Lucid Motors. I actually saw one of those about a couple weeks ago in the small town I live in, which is surprising, as well as Hyundai's Iconic 5, EV6, EV9, Volkswagen. So yeah, this does benefit America way more than it does Canada. It's ridiculous. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. What they need to do is just bring out this statistic right now. Hitch that wagon of Mark Carney to Donald Trump and people will start flipping. Just watch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If that member and the party opposite thinks that we are on the wrong side of Canadian sovereignty, they've got another thing coming. Our approach is all about Canadian sovereignty. It's all about investing in the companies that invest in us. It's all about embracing the future of electrification. It's all about embracing our workers, who are the best workers in the world. And for the members opposite to talk down Canadian sovereignty or to talk down this sector, this moment of real challenge, when we've got an opportunity to solve it, is really beneath them.
I think baby Einstein here needs a little history lesson on the Liberals shelling out $1 billion to China to build ferries for BC Ferries, investing in the companies that invest in us. I'm pretty sure it's just the People's Republic of China that benefits from that, and that's just one example.
For a little bit of education for these Liberals, Mr. Speaker, less than 5% of vehicles manufactured in Canada will qualify for this EV rebate. The rest will come from the United States and other foreign manufacturers. But imagine you're the auto worker in Brampton who is supposed to manufacture the Jeep Compass EV. That job went to the United States. That Jeep EV Compass being manufactured in the United States is actually going to be subsidized by your taxpayer dollars. If you are that auto worker in Brampton, you are looking at this Liberal government and how this is going to benefit Donald Trump and saying, what the hell is going on in Ottawa?
I'm liking it. They're finally doing it here. There's numerous ties. They just got to bring all of them up, hammer them one after the other here. Just fill the media cycle for the next week or two with this stuff.
I'll tell you what the Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association has to say about today's announcement. We welcome the government's automotive strategy announced today. Funding to support renewed purchase incentives and a robust charging infrastructure strategy will help continue to drive EV adoption. And
robust charging infrastructure. We know how this works. Brookfield has been investing in EV charging for a long time now, and like EV Passport, integrate level 2 charging stations, Shoals Technology Group, strategic partnership to introduce charge as a service solution for EV charging infrastructure. They've got Energy's EV business. They've got Enercare, which does heat pumps, also EV charging stations. And this goes back to 2018. So they've been planning this out for a long time now.
CVMA members are well positioned to support this shift to electrification through diverse product offerings. That sounds like Canadian sovereignty to me, Mr. Speaker.
No, that sounds like Brookfield is the one positioned to make money off this because they've been investing in all this technology and laying the groundwork here well before Justin Trudeau resigned years ago.
What we're asking for, what Canadians want, are new pipelines, new projects, and the amount that they've approved, absolutely zero. This government needs to reverse course that has led 2 million Canadians to food banks, admit that their policies have failed, embrace conservative principles fully, and collaborate with conservatives to bring prosperity back to our country.
Mr. Speaker, they keep asking for pipelines. We just gave them one. We're building thousands of jobs in Darlington. We're building, they're not.
Darlington, I wonder if he's invested in it. I bet you he is. Darlington Nuclear, we know what's going on here. We need to know what his investments are. We need to have hundreds of people email this guy asking what his investments are. This is getting ridiculous.
Mr. Speaker, Bloomberg reports that Canada's economy is on life support. Canada's GDP growth was zero in November. Productivity continues to fall, and the Bank of Canada expects that just 1% growth next year, with business investment being postponed. How bad is it? Home builders in Niagara have laid off 60% of their framers due to stalled residential construction. The Prime Minister promised the fastest growing economy in the G7, yet growth is stalled. Will the Prime Minister please adopt conservative ideas that remove barriers so Canadians can actually build and grow again?
All those framers, where are they going to go? They're going to go down to America. Trump's going to open the door and they're all going to be gone and they're never going to come back.
Well, I know what constitutes good news for Canadians does not always constitute good news for conservatives, Mr. Speaker. But let me give them another piece of good news. The first major national project this spring breaks ground, le port de Contrecoeur, une expansion de 60%, post container port capacity, Mr. Speaker. We're going to build more stuff. We're going to put more stuff on boats. We're going to send more things to more places around the world, expand our trade, put people to work, and build Canada strong.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Somebody give him back his crayons. Get him out of Parliament.